You hear the deck talk for Portizo's sub? Because I didn't, and I think I should have. Um, Thank you, though, Portizo, for the tier 1 sub and for 48 months there. Okay. No? Why? One moment. There was no deck talk on stream. Okay. I will give this a small amount of diagnostics. Okay, so I think I am going to be in shipping purgatory this weekend because I have a package that says it's going to be delivered today, but also says it's a whole state over and it must have a signature. So I didn't want to take a chance. And when it's not delivered today, maybe it'll be delivered tomorrow, and then it could be delivered Saturday. So who knows? So yeah, I'm kind of stuck at home for that right now. So, what we're gonna do is Python programming, trying to make WebSockets work. So that's the goal. Okay, let me figure out why there's no deck talk. Git. Wasn't it just sudo apt install deck talk? Like, hold on. Stream. Package delivery courtesy. Yeah, mail delay because of rain. I don't think so. Courtesy of no, I don't think courtesy of you. Uh Winter storm hunkering down. I don't think so unless California is getting snow when Arizona isn't. It doesn't seem all that likely to me. Oh, wait. No? Hold on. Say. That's the name of the program. Jeez. Say. Why did that make no sound? Um, Why does OBS hate me and keep moving my volume mixer thing everywhere so I can't see it?
This is a test.
Yeah, why is that not working? This audio device? Okay, maybe it'll work now. All right. Sure. Cool, thanks. All right, Linux audio stuff, typical fun nightmares. Okay, that's maybe resolved now. I think you guys, yeah, that worked. Okay, perfect. All right, Ben, hello and welcome, Raiders. Okay, yeah. So, let me more clearly talk about what's going on here. So, I have my demo project thingamajig over here, and the idea, why home stream, tomorrow stream, home studio, then home, what, I am waiting for a package that has to be signed for, and I really do not want to miss the package, and there is a chance that it's not going to be delivered today, and I may have to stream from here tomorrow as well. So, yeah, I must be here for this package. It's not optional. Okay, so anyway, I got code. None of it's actually, like, fully implemented yet, because what I want to do is at least a fun package. It's a package that I cannot tell you what is in it. So that is all I will say. Anyway, so I'm using Quart now instead of
and says one more month till the number that is oddly prevalent in a certain sci-fi series. End of line. Chloe Raccoon says tier 100 good job. Shelby's streaming doesn't really
thank you for the tier 1 sub and for
you know I can
46 months.
Actually finish typing this with a straight face. End of line.
In theory, it would actually be possible to do more IRL type stuff here, but that's not what we're doing today, because this is what's eating away at my brain. So, Chloe, thank you for the 100 bits as well. All right. This is why I need another robot arm, one by the door that can sign for the package. So I have to have one for the floppy robot, and then another one that just forges signatures. Somehow, I don't think that they will take a robot signature. Okay. Anyway, I've switched to Quart for Python web nonsense instead of Flask. Now, I was not originally going to use Quart because it looked icky, but then I realized if I wanted to be able to use WebSockets, Quart just integrates WebSockets, which makes way more sense than running Flask and a dedicated standalone WebSocket module as well. This is just both in one. So I'm switching to Quart, which was literally, I just said, regular expression, replace Flask with Quart. It was not that difficult. Oh, and add async in front of def everywhere. So that's that. Now comes the difficult part with WebSockets. Video switching dev. No, this is eventually, well, it's for everything. Like all of my projects now end up being Python with a web server that does physical things. So if it's CD robot, it's entering the media data, starting the rip, and then the robot moves something. If it's video routing, it's clicking a button, it sends video from a physical device. If it's the RetroTake 4K remote,
in the house. End of line.
Chaco, thank you for the tier 1 or prime sub there, and for 43 months. That one's pain. Yeah, so anyway, the RetroTake 4K remote software is web front end to send buttons to a serial port to the physical RetroTake 4K. So it's just like everything ends up just being this for some reason. So I want a more robust, I don't want to say framework because Quart is the framework, but skeleton project that I can base my other projects on, as opposed to just kind of the garbage version that I've been using, because there are much smarter ways to use Flask than I have been using it, and I'm trying to get to that point. So, for example, now I guess if I run this, actually, let's do it through here. Not that it really makes a difference. But if we open this and we go demo, all right, and Quart's not installed on this computer. Cool, fun, love it. Template, yeah, template's a good way to phrase it. So yeah, that's why I want to do this. So it is going to be used for the CD robot, but it's also going to be used for the video routing and basically everything else. So yes, Ubon 2, I want to break the packages. They don't deserve to be unbroken. All right, and now if I go over here, boop. Alrighty, and then click, and then boop. All right, so this is Quart. And if we go to hello, then that will work. And then if I go to what do we got here?
Subscribe with
web.
Prime.
We got
Subscribe
view.
for
View
36
is
months.
probably better.
And
So if we go to view and then we go to
years of this.
DB,
Welp, that's even scarier than we having been streaming for a year now. End of line.
thank you for the Prime sub and for 36 months there. I appreciate that. Decided what distro you're changing to yet? I will never use Arch. It's just not going to be Arch. I mean, no matter the front end, all boils down to being serial. I mean, video routing is serial, RetroTake 4K is serial, CD robot is serial. Yeah, I guess I just want to make buttons on a web page for serial devices. You're right. Arch is pain. Yeah. I have a feeling it's going to be Debian with KDE. All right. Database is locked. We'll go ahead and just close this. I'm just going to delete the database file because it's probably the one from the repo that I accidentally pushed, and I don't really want that one. So let's do this. Boom. And I'm going to go back over here. I'm going to refresh. There we go. So this is the project test that showed every single time the page is reloaded, it does an insert, and then it does a select from the database so that it adds data as a test of clients. So using Steam Deck, you're using Arch. I mean, not really. Is that any more Arch than it is just a regular Linux kernel with a different desktop environment? And besides, it's not like you interact with the underlying Linux in any way on Steam Deck other than to add non-Steam games. Because if you try and do anything fun at all while leaving Steam OS on there, then it's just going to get wiped out the next time there's an update. I have no problem with other people using Arch. I just don't want to use it. Okay. Anyway, this is what this code does, the view code. So we want to go to chat. Now, here's what my hang up is on this. So, Hydro Thunder is a good Windows experience. Yes, exactly. That's a great way of saying it. Or a good DOS experience. I mean, it's kind of DOS, it's kind of Windows, whatever. Okay. So, I've been trying to read how to use WebSockets to send data to and from a client and what you do to make that work. And I've got the JavaScript WebSocket documentation from MDN up here. And then we have the Quart WebSocket documentation here. Now, here's where this gets confusing to me. So, from what I understand, the disconnection is kind of a problem. So I think what we do is we create a new WebSocket, and then we have to point this here to the path that we define here. And then we send it an opening thing that says, sup, I'm a JavaScript client. Okay. And then the server has a receive here. So that's going to do something like this. Okay. And then we take the sup, I'm a JavaScript client. And then maybe we use the, this is one of those other things where I need to session. We use the session information from Quart to store information about that client. Okay. And then, I guess this releases, but then what I need to do is create some kind of async task after we do the open command event, whatever here. We need to create an async delayed task that calls its own self that is a keep alive. Because if we don't keep alive the signal or the WebSocket, I think it will close automatically. And then the whole point of it existing goes away. So we need to handle that. But we also need a try catch for handling the disconnect. So I'm not exactly sure how all of this is going to fit together. So this is where this gets weird to me, and I'm not 100% sure what I want to do. So, All right, I'm catching up on chat here. Laptop sulking, time for reboot? Yeah, probably. Laptops really like rebooting. Let's see. And yeah, trans girl, my preference is always to steer people towards the most broadly supported operating systems for or distros, which is usually Ubuntu or a Ubuntu derivative that is functionally identical. But I'm really hating snaps, and I really hate Flatpaks, and I just so I want away from all of that as much as possible. So I will say, yeah, the ARU sounds kind of appealing over Flatpaks. That distinction could maybe be the thing that makes me consider trying Arch. So anyway, all right. Debian doesn't do Flatpak or any nonsense like that. Obviously, it's not going to do Snap. That's Ubuntu Canonical's own evil. But I'm just gonna Ben. It's probably going to be Debian. It's most likely is going to be Debian. You don't have to push me towards that. That's already the fence I'm leaning on. ARU as native package builder for DaVinci. Yeah, that's not that big of a deal. That's the kind of thing where it sounds like it'd be useful, but then it's actually more work than it's worth. All right. Because there's already make resolve deb. That one works flawlessly every time. Additionally, I'm probably going to download DaVinci 20.1, I think it is, whatever the version is exactly after the one I've got that has the minimal amount of AI garbage in it, and then never update again. That's probably what's going to happen. So it won't really matter. Because they're going down the bad path of AI now. Chloe. Literally no idea what any of that modern nonsense is, so I'm going with not unless you specifically ask it to. Have you never encountered a program that requires Flatpak to install? And hey, Cody. All right. Yeah, so WebSocket stuff. So let's kind of pseudocode this, okay? So here's what I'm thinking. We're in chat. Okay, so we have BP, I guess, dot WebSocket You prefer Snap? I mean, we could always unmod you, I suppose. Not to encounter awfulness, just as a matter of policy. I envy you in that you apparently have managed to avoid all of that. All right, we'll just do a /ws here and assume that that's probably fine. I know there's a way to get like current URL, but we'll just ignore that for right now. Do it, coward. All right, bluff called.
Cheap and 247.
Okay, that's the
subscribed at tier
decorator.
1.
I don't like
They've
decorators. They're
subscribed
annoying.
for 25 months. End
Yeah.
of line.
G-Pan, thank you for the tier 1 sub and for 25 months there. I appreciate that. Alright, ladies, KUbuntu explicitly said no snaps as it came to install Firefox. Ask me what happened. Yeah. My favorite thing is, at least currently, I think Firefox is the only thing that actually uses snaps. Just you have the whole snap framework there for Firefox. As WebSocket dev, any fun? This right here, these are the first 2 lines of code I've ever written that involve WebSocket. So I'm currently more in the conceptual stage of it. So are you familiar with WebSocket stuff, Cody? Because that's what I'm trying to wrap my head around this part right now. Because I think what I need to do is have JavaScript open a WebSocket that will point to this. All right. And then this would have Quark code that looks kind of like this. So we'll have 2 tasks that just sit here. I don't know how these like continuously call or whatever, but I'm just going to pretend that works for right now. But then when we have a receive where we'd send an open request, I need to have this start another task that is a keep alive for the JavaScript client, because I want it to be able to just receive data from the server, and it's going to run indefinitely. So I think I need to make a keep alive async that is just self-calling after a period of time. I don't know, there's great task delay or something. I don't know if there's anything like that. But anyway, continuously is the while true. Okay. That's weird. So while true, and then I assume with the disconnect thing here, WebSocket, await, but these are, I assume this will be none if there is nothing here. I don't. How familiar are you with async await? Medium familiar. I know it gets worse with this though, like so much worse. Oh my gosh, it's horrible worse. Did I have to do the evil nonsense here? How did I, where did I do this? Oh no, did I do this on my laptop and not actually push it? This is some text. Oh, I may want to pull out my laptop here and commit some stuff.
Subscribed at tier 1.
Last commit 4 days ago. Okay, let me check my laptop really quick.
22 months. End of line.
All right, one moment. Throw async IO canceled, whatever. Yes. Yeah. I do need to do that. I just want to make sure that I don't have something on here that I need. Because I thought I had to do, maybe it's just this. Maybe that's all I needed. But I just want to double check. Because you have to await like function calls from objects. Like this is an async object. Like it's a, I don't think it's a coroutine because it has like normal data things, but then I don't know. It's really weird. Like one of their examples, let me see if I can find it really quick here because it's like, ugh. Let's see, maybe it's in the tutorial. because you gotta see this nonsense. It's pretty bad. Yep, quick start, blah, 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 blah. Introduction to async IO. Okay, where is it? It's this. That's what they're doing. Look at this. This is just disgusting. Like, what? What? So yeah, that's the part of async I don't like, is how you basically have to, like, take a debug step and print what the object is that you're actually working on, and then figure out if you need to await it or not. It's pretty gross. So, yeah, the async IO part, basically I know that it's a giant nightmare and that it's going to bite me. So that's what I know. Okay, let me double check that there's nothing here. I suspect this is now up to date. Git status. Hold on, I got a spam T because that key keeps double clicking. Okay, status. Working branch is clean, up to date with origin main. Okay, so that is it. All right, just wanted to double check. Still too good for your office this weekend. I am having a package be delivered that must be signed for, and I'm currently looking at a camera on my phone of the outdoors so that I can watch if I need to sprint over and sign for said package. I cannot let that package go without. I have to be here for it. Is that Billy's Ball or Christmas baubles? What? I'm not sure what you're talking about. Try to help where I can, but also trying to convince myself to complete a project at work before end of day. Yeah, don't worry about it too much then. Think of it as collapsed promise. Promises are worse. I am less familiar with promises. Behind me. Oh, no, that's cooler than both. I've never. Maybe I have opened it. These are Loco Rocos. I'm a little nervous to actually try them because I don't think. No, I've never really opened it. Well, maybe I have. So these are Stress Toy Loco Rocos. I don't want to squeeze them too much because they're in perfect condition, of course. If you don't know what it is, you're just gonna not know what it is. But if you do know what it is, aren't these awesome? Second project using lib WebSockets for C, C++. Ugh. Man, I can't even imagine doing it in C and C++. That sounds awful. Okay. Those are up. They almost look like peeps, yeah. Should record the outside camera so you have video of them putting the sorry misuse tag on the door. Yeah, really. No, that's why I'm looking at the camera the entire time. Outside has been adequately obfuscated by the camera. All right. Okay. So this, I suspect this is what I was looking at. All right, so let's add more WebSocket stuff. Okay. So, WebSocket. I can close that tab so I'm not confused by it. How's the Trinitron doing? I think perfectly. I don't believe it has had a single issue that hasn't been caused by a loose connection. Or me misidentifying a problem. What's funny is I looked at some of the footage that was confusing me from the Zelda stream, and it was literally just the background of that one cave being much brighter for some reason. And that was what was throwing me off. All right, Ramdas. All right. XML RPC. Similar project, no persistent connection. Just have it trigger methods when needed. So it needs the persistent connection because the server is going to be sending data to the client, not the other way around, at least in this instance. So I figure the server should do the keep alive. Now, that's not always going to be the case, but in this instance, it is. All right. So W async WS. All right. Let's do this more assuming we're doing this part. So let's just copy this for right now. Do that. I think we got to import this. Went in client. No, that's just part of async IO. Okay, was there anything? We probably needed to import a WebSocket thing, right? Or do we? WebSocket is a global like request. Nice. So I need to do import WebSocket, I suspect. Okay. Before that packages go in, but unless people bring them into the inner hallway, someone can still walk in and take things. Yeah. That part is a concern for this, but more so the tracking directly states signature required. So, yeah. All right. Handle disconnection here. Print. Oh, noes. Okay. All right. Oh my gosh, I didn't actually say it. MQ Bush, thank you for the tier 1 sub and for 16 for 22 months. I appreciate it. And what's my phone want? It says you received email. Okay. Another requesting on $20 eBay purchase. Not that. Let me check something really quick. Okay. So here, I'm gonna clue you into a thing. Whoops. Hold on. One moment. That should make it make more sense to one person. One crazy supercomputer, slightly used. Yeah, I would, wherever that is, I would drive to it. As long as it's in the continental US. I would be willing to do that. A signature for that? That's a KV2145R. All right, might be too European for this, but over here, simply deliver packages to your neighbors when you're not home. That's very European. Yeah, no, that wouldn't happen here. No. Let me put it this way. As I've been watching the camera, I thought I was going to have to go out and disrupt a car burglary. All right, let's go back to work. Okay, so we do data with thing. So this just mirrors the data back. You know what? Let's just do that. So anything this receives, it sends back. Moving the roof out of the van or fit a gray. Nah, the seats come off. It would be fine. You just put the core on its side, put it in there, and then the seats, it's got a roof rack. You just put them up there. I'm sure it'd be fine. I don't think there's, too many thousands of wires that go between the two. Okay. That might be it. So let's look at the web side thing. So chat, page. That's what I want to look at. So template, chat, page. Okay. That sounds like networking.
Chloe Raccoon says Tier
The
1
cray in the
error.
seats and the
Putting some
wires.
crays on this site will lead to a loss of 3M fluoride. End of line.
Yeah, I could see that leading to some really bad stuff. Chloe, thank you for the 100 bits. Gray loom flapping in the wind like bungee cord. Mattress on the roof rack. All right. Let's run this and see if this works or not, because I don't remember. Oh, I think this is what I was fighting last, was trying to send data through this. That's right. That part's terrible. Did I actually get this to work? I don't remember if I did or not. Okay, yeah, let's run it and see what happens. Okay, demo. And then this thing, let's just pin this. And then we will do chat. Boom. Okay, so we have a web page. Perfect. I think this works, actually. Sender name here. They said this thing over here. Okay, submit. And then if I refresh, I don't know why it keeps doing this. The database gets locked and then it's like dead. So I'm just going to close it. I'm going to go back to the thing. I'm going to delete these. Boop. And then I'm going to rerun it. And then boop. Okay, submit. And then over here, reloading. I don't know if it's happy or not. Turns phone call. Have we broken it yet? I think we might be about to crash the database again. Or did it just work? Oh, it just worked. Okay, never mind. So this is one span here. I guess I can just show you. And then this is the other span. So I am sending data and then reading it over here. So we can send and receive data. Okay. But now we're going to change the on click from send this to open a WebSocket and send the data that way, I guess. And then we'll receive it and then print it in here, I think, maybe. This is going to be fun. Okay, UL, ID, message list. Okay. Tangent achieved? I'm confused. All right. So, let's leave that function, because why change it if we don't have to? We'll just duplicate this, put it down here, put this one here, and then yoink, and then yoink. Okay, then this one, we'll do function send web socket. Okay. This is going to be fun. All right, I guess I need to connect a WebSocket thing. How do I do that? It's this one. Okay. Do I just do this as a global when the page loads? That seems weird. Let's do I guess 1, 2. You know what? Local host is fine. Port is 80 though, which I guess that. And then chat, and then WS. Okay. So successful implementation of Devflow 1, yeah. All right. You know, I wanted more time. I got distracted by a different project this morning, but my plan was, and I may implement this before stream tomorrow, is I have a miniature teleprompter here that can go over that camera, and then I can have chat on that camera so that I see it. So that I see chat when I look at the camera instead of way over here. All right. Isn't the port 5,000?
Chat directly into your line of vision. What could possibly go wrong?
I wonder, can I get the app port here?
Line.
Hey, Thank you for the 100 bits, Ben. Who uses Python WebSockets in production? I don't know. Someone who's not doing like fancy pants production code. Okay. What? Oh yeah, semicolon. This is not Python. Okay. Okay. Socket. Add event listener. Open. Okay. Send. So, okay, quick question. Can I send anything here? It could be a string, it could be a dictionary, it could be like whatever. Or if I'm sending a string, do I got to do the stupid or a dictionary? Do I got to do JSON stringify or whatever? How? Or maybe it doesn't matter. Maybe I do this. Receipt, add socket, messenger. Okay, we're just gonna do a good old fashioned alert. And then it's probably this. Okay. So I think when I refresh the page, I'm just gonna do this. It will send hello server, message from server, hello server. Probably explicitly JSONify it, especially if you're going to consume it from JS. JSON stringify turns object into a string. I think plain string should work. Even more distracting words. Anything other than plain strings. Okay, so you're saying I should only send strings, but that the strings could contain JSON, is what you're saying. So Ramdas, the WebSocket host is the HTTP host. That's the reason that I'm using Quart in Python, is that this is a web server and WebSocket server. So it's the exact same software handling both. That's why all I had to do to make it work over here was just import the WebSocket module. So that's why I'm doing it in this particular way. Okay. Yeah, I think we just do that for now, and then I'll just put this here. Yeah, okay, I think that works. Let me refresh this. Okay. Boom. Hello. Oh, I'm liking that. Okay, I think that just worked. Okay. So. Let's say we do this. JSON stringify. Event. I don't know. Open. All right. At least Python is properly shutting down, closing the socket, having to wait like 2 minutes each time to test the socket code is annoying. Oh, gosh. All right. So we'll have this event open. And then, you know what? For kicks, I'm not going to do anything. I just want to see that string be printed back. None type has no attribute close. Wait, what now? Wait ID. What got all cranky like? Who knows? All right, rerun. F5. Perfect. That's what I want to see. Okay. Use readdress. What? Set socket, blah, blah, blah. Errors. I have no idea what this is. I don't know. All right. Let's try and decode this over here. Irrelevant view shall be just joking. Oh, okay, sorry. Oh, okay. That's something about like forcing a port to be reopened. Okay. Gotcha. Hello, Silent Searchlight. Okay. Let's say data. Actually, hold on. Import JSON. Okay. So can I do JSON.decode? Where's it loads? JSON loads. That's it. Boom. Okay. And then if data event equals open, we'll just do this. Hello, new connection. Else. No, not eval. Oh my gosh, this is almost working. Why? Why are you like this? Okay, what's failing in the background? Async IO is not defined. Wait, what? And it did disconnect. Huh. Okay. I don't like that, but fine. So I guess nowhere I'm actually importing async IO. That's kind of funny. Okay, copy that under chat. Import async IO. Boom. And go. Error. Okay, why? Let's do this, then this, and this, and then this. Okay. Back over to here. Boom. Hello, new connection. Perfect. Okay. I don't think it has connected yet or disconnected. I'm gonna wait. Async IO is not defined. Wait, what about this? Hold on. Async.io was not defined. Get to import. I saved it. Hold on. Okay. F5. Okay. Okay, I think that was an old error that was running in a background task in Linux that came through. So now if I control C. Oh no, is it properly handled the async thing? I don't know why it hasn't like actually quit. Okay, none type has no attribute close in util. At text callback process. So something about the process that's starting this, I think, is not closing correctly now. That was working before. I don't know why. Yeah, now you get a DZAC. Yeah. So you can understand why I'm here and will be until those are here. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, other project stuff. I mean, that would be nice to be here for it, but I would live, you know. Okay. F5, new connection. Okay. Why did it oh no's already? F5. It oh no's immediately. Why is it losing connection instantly? Maybe the JavaScript like garbage collector thing is seeing that this can't do anything and then closing this object. So maybe if I add this, then I can have it not close that object, and then it won't close that. One moment here. All right. And I think that's a food thing. Biggest one redeems have embedded themselves in my brain so much, I just instinctively reach for the oh no one. Does it make oh gosh. Is it I don't know, I want to say aim, but I feel more like it's kid picks? Oh no? I don't know. What is it? Which oh no is it? I think there may be a lot of iconic oh no's in software land. Lemmings, oh no. Ah. Boss told me I could push on Monday instead of today. You can pay attention. How's WebSocket? I think it's working. So here, if I refresh, boom, hello, new connection. So what happens is on loading this the web page, it creates a socket, it connects to the server, that's working. We send it a JSON stringified event called open. I'm just making this up. I don't know. It seems like you can send that's it. Thank you for getting that, by the way. I'm sending a JSON stringified JSON thing. I don't know if I would be fine just sending regular JSON through it without having to stringify. On the server, I'm listening and seeing if it says event open, then I send this message back, which is what we saw over here. And then if it's not that, then I'm sending back the data that it receives, which I'm currently working on building that data. Should be able to open a connection, not even need to send. Should be able to open a connection and not even... Oh, you probably don't need to send. This was just a test to make sure that the sending was working. I will say this, though. Let me close the weird random stuff. So I just added this, all right? This was not here. So it gets to a point where socket is no longer being used, and you'll see here it's closing out the connection. Is that because, if you know offhand, is JavaScript garbage collecting this variable because it's not being used anymore, and then it's closing the connection in the background? Because I'm going to add this now, which I think should mean it stays alive. I will be right back because I just saw the delivery vehicle drive by and I didn't see them stop or anyone walk up to the door. So I'm going to go check if there is a note on the door or anything. So I will be right back. Okay, nothing happened. I did there's no note on the door, no package. So it looks like today was a waste. Uh, please make that a shirt. Tracking number update? Yeah, now it says 5 p.m. instead of, it was actually 11 minutes ago was the cutoff for the delivery window. So now it says 5 p.m. still today, but the tracking also still shows not in this state. So you can't scan that truck for your package, yeah. Yeah, DCAC, I know, right? Like, on the one hand, their tracking's probably correct. It's probably not in this state. On the other hand, what if their tracking is incorrect? Because their delivery time estimate is obviously incorrect. So, it's an imperfect system. 5 p.m. Mars time or what exactly?
Sleepy developer subscribed at tier 1. They've subscribed for 14 months.
All right, anyway.
End of line.
Sleepy, thank you for the tier 1 sub and for math 14 months there. I appreciate that. Did I draw that BRB screen? Yes. It wasn't exactly articulate. But if you're asking, do I own all of the legal rights to put it on a shirt? Probably. It's tiptoeing on parody law as to whether or not it's fair use, It's amazing. I want that on a shirt. It would probably be fine. All right. Let me three finger is bin 7. That would be 5. Vanilla Ice can try and justify that extra bass note. I'm pretty sure that it didn't work. Same thing with oh my gosh, Brain. Oh, this is gonna bother me. Okay, I know who did the infringing, and I know what song. Oh, I hate that I can't remember the first song. Hold on. Nope. I gotta you know what? I think I'm wrong about the second song, too. What song? Well, that's what I'm trying to remember. I think I remember the original song. Yeah, I'm pretty sure the original song was Super Freak. And then I think MC Hammer did the infringing. I can't remember the artist of the original song. All right, there have no new songs since 1243. Huey Lewis sound too much like Huey Lewis. Ice Ice Baby and Under Pressure is the more modern one. No. Yeah, Rick James and MC Hammer. Yes, that. Yep, Rick James. Oh, should have remembered Rick James. He's in a Cake song. All right, let's do more of this. So event message, can't touch us, yeah. Which I should have remembered, because that's a Weird Al song. Yeah, exactly, Trans Girl. It was not It was not blessed. It was not allowed. How about that Weird Al Yankovic, though? He asked for permission every time. That's why we do not have chicken pot pie. Or was it turkey pot pie? I don't remember, but yeah. Okay. Event message. Sender. We'll do. Actually, I could just do this. Yoink. You know what? Actually, I should probably do data. And then this. Boom. Okay. And then we'll go ahead and clear out all of that after it doesn't explode. Yes. And then we'll add a listener. No, wait, we still have the listener. Wait, add event listener. Okay, we just expand on that, and then when it sends the data back, we'll just append it to this list. Okay. He doesn't have to ask for permission, but he does because he's an all-around nice guy. Exactly, yes. All right. Look at your Amish Paradise story here, yeah. Philip, yes. My favorite is when his version of songs are just better than the original. Like, the Flintstones song is better than whatever, I don't know, the original Vacation song. Or the Milli Vanilli, Oreo. Or was it Plumber song? I don't remember. Whichever one. One of those. I think maybe it's the plumbing song. Those are whichever one of those from Off the Deep End is way better than the original. 20 years hoping Weird Al would parody Rockapella. I mean, obviously, Dziak, All About the Pentiums is the nerd national anthem. That's shooting fish in a barrel here. All right. You know what I don't know how to do? JS check for attribute. Element has attribute model. Why is it so easy? Why you gotta be like that? Okay. Foo has attribute blah. Okay, perfect. All right. If event has attribute event, because that makes sense. Yeah, I know, DCAC. I am aware. Okay. Event has attribute and event dot event equals message. And double ampersand. Else do thing. Okay. And then here, we'll go ahead and make a doohickey, but for right now, and li would be made here. Okay. I think that all works. Let's see it explode now. I don't know what has failed in the background, but I don't like it. Okay, F5. Okay, nothing exploded. Sender. Data. Submit. I don't like that. Where'd it go? It just disappeared. Just poof, gone. We got a chat WebSocket, but we did not get data back. I think it closed the WebSocket connection. Oh, wait, we got an error. Event has attribute, not a function. Wait, what now? Oh, is it not valid on non-HTML elements? Okay. Let's just pretend we know exactly what we're doing. Blah in event. Just pretend JavaScript is Python, and then everything will work out. Yeah, I don't know why we're triggering this. Go. Just why? Paused on breakpoint. What breakpoint? There are no breakpoints. Pause on debugger statements. No. Go. What are you causing breakpoints on? Global script first statement. I don't want. I go away. Breakpoint. Yes. Hello. Add console log to any variable object you aren't sure about. Yeah. All you need is if event. That's not true. Okay. And then sender data. Submit. Oh my gosh. Go. Whatever. Okay, that didn't work. It didn't complain. Okay, well, I guess let's do this. Meh. Okay, event. Why can't I not? Why does the JavaScript debugger suck all of a sudden? Why is it no source map found? Click the 42. Click. Yeah, but the problem is that why don't I see information about the variables here? Like, I should be able to block socket. Yeah, I should be able to see this stuff by just hanging out over here. Arguments. We should be paused here, right? Okay, we're paused here, not up here. So continue, and then we never get data back. And WebSocket. Oh, let me try this. Boom. Okay, socket. Type blob. Find message URL. Closed 3. Connecting 0. Closing 2. If event.event. Yeah, probably that. That might work. But I think also maybe this is work. I'm not sure. Is it reopening the WebSocket here? Oh no, I got an idea. Add event. Close. Close. Alert. Nap time. Okay, close. All right. Clear. Actually, just get rid of it. Refresh. Stop. Stupid nonsense. Garbage. No one cares. Okay, hello message, new connection, and then... Okay, maybe this event doesn't exist. I don't know. Hold on. Event. Events. Close. Okay, close does exist. Event measure close. Okay. So... blah, blah, blah. Send. I really do not understand why it is breakpointing all the time. This is the only breakpoint. Event listener breakpoints. Wait, is this a new thing? Bob closed 3, closing 2. Close, name, close. I don't know what you guys are seeing. Everything was perfectly fine. This is driving me insane. Get this out of here. Yep, new connection. Okay. And then thing and stuff. And then boom. Okay, that still didn't work. Thing. Stuff. Okay. So that should run this. And then go. Okay. Socket. Like exists or something. Wait, this did not refresh. Do I need to reload the whole thing over here? Do this. Control F5. Whatever. I don't. What event is this? Debugger paused. Why? Anonymous code. Script first statement. Script first statement. Don't care. Go. Control F5. Okay. Boom. Perfect. Okay. Index. Okay. It actually loaded correctly this time. Blah. Blah, 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 blah. Submit. Okay. Check. Okay. That's going to send. Perfect. That's what I wanted. Okay. I mean, it's not great, but that's better. Okay. String cannot be interpreted as an integer. Sure. Did I... I gotta unstringify it. How do I... JS... JSON unstringify. How'd you get that layout in the debugger? So if you mean on the right, there's this button right here. You can choose bottom, right, left, or one of my personal favorites, separate window. But I'm just going to keep it on the right now. Check the network tab. JSON.parse. Yeah, they look like, yeah. It's just, I want to select text. I don't want to click a link. Boom. Okay. So then we do, data equal JSON parse, maybe, Whoop, up, that. Boom. Okay. If this in that else, then we just send. Oh wait, parse event data. Boom. So if it's an object and it's got this in the thing, then we do that. And if not, we just pretend it's a string and we do that. Okay. Let's try this again. Go over here, Control F5. Why did it not trip the alert? The sidebars being on the bottom within the debugger. That was just like the default layout, I think, for that. I don't know. I mean, can you just? Oh, you just make it narrow, I guess. There you go. Yep, that's it. That's how you do it. All right, why is parse bad? Unexpected character at line 1 of blah, blah, blah. Okay. What was event data? blah, 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 blah. Submit. Oh, wait, it doesn't like the thing. Can I, how, JSON, JS, try, catch. Try. Catch. Probably just that. And then, boop. Okay. I hate copying code from web pages where they use different indents because then it screws up all my indenting here because the editor's like, I don't even know what you're trying to indent at this point. I'm too afraid to ask. So it just gives up. Okay, refresh. Control F5, refresh. JSON parse unexpected character. Yeah, but like, didn't I did try catch. Oh, I didn't refresh this. It's kind of killing me that the Python is semi-interpreting these weird HTML pages. There we go. Okay. Blah, 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 blah. Submit. Okay. You know what? We're just going to step through this. Okay. Nap time. Why nap time? Oh, because you were real cranky. WebSocket send data. Blah, blah. Oh, I think I need a JSON encode. Chat. Okay, hold on. JSON dumps. That's it. JSON dumps. There we go. Okay, apparently we can't send just random dictionaries. Now we know. Control F5. Click. Okay. Thing. Blah, 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 blah. Go. Okay. Go. What errored? Okay, data is not defined. Dude, it just never ends. Okay. 53. Okay. This. Data. Something or another. Blah, 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 blah. Data. What? Hold on. This. If event in data. Yeah, I should have known this was going to be a problem. This is 100% on me. I was just too lazy to do this. And you know what? No. Why is it 2 tab? There. Force it to reload. F5. Bandesiac. Okay. That should work. No errors. Okay. Blah, 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 blah. Submit. Okay. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Huh. Okay, let's do this. Chat. And then while true, JSON loads, WebSocket receive. Okay, if data, you know what, hold on. I assume if data is not none, print got a data. Okay. And then blah, 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 blah. Submit. Yeah, let's just, I wish I could disable all of those. Without having to click them all. Okay. Got a data. All right. I think I know what the problem is. It's that I'm not sending the data back. Wait, no, but I am sending the data back. Wait, what? Hold on. On dumps data. JSON loads. Data equal event open. We send hello new connection. If we don't send it as okay, hold on. Okay, we broke on this. We got data. Data event message. Okay. Event data. Okay, data. Event equal message. So all right, the event in data does not work. Got it. So you're just saying data.event if data.event. Do your part, trigger the crash so we can buy Rams again. Yeah, but they think they're getting money by stealing your questions. See, that's the catch-22. F5. Okay, actually, control F5. All right. Blah, 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 blah. Submit. It almost worked. Why did it not work? Okay. If data event and event equal mess. Okay. This is what happens when you code live. You make stupid mistakes. I don't want debugger. Go away. I don't care. Blah, 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 blah. This one's just going to work. Boom. Aha. Perfect. Okay. Why not use is not instead of does not equal in Python? Isn't is not specifically something different? I'm also not sure where I'm using that. If data is not none. Oh, it's none is some kind of specific like thing that you use for none. None is not a value. It's a magic Python thing. So I don't believe you can say data is equal to none. I think you can only say data is not none. Maybe I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's the only valid syntax for that. All right, now in the JavaScript, we got to do none's Python equivalent of null. Yeah, but isn't there weird syntax with handling it? You can't just do equals comparison. Okay, document dot create element. Okay, I kind of like this whole like the development environment, like, or the web, the Kate knows what the thing I'm doing is. Okay, create element li. Okay, so we're just gonna make an li with 2 spans in it. Equal calls method on the object. An object does the comparison. Yeah, that sounds correct. Always var does not, or okay, never been a problem. Interesting. I really thought that is none was required. I'm going to continue to do that. I don't know. I don't know. I is test that the variable holds a reference to the same thing. That seems more correct to me because none is not really a value. Okay, I'm going to get rid of this. Okay. Li equal that thing. And then we create name equal span name dot inner that text. I don't think it's inner HTML. Text content. Right? No. Content. Something about. I don't think it's just this, is it? I want to say you do inner HTML. Anyway, it equals data dot data dot name sender, maybe, and then message li dot append child name message document dot get element by ID. The element is this thing. Yoink. Boop. Dot append child li. Okay. Nothing Pepe about not doing that, so you can definitely equals none and later equals and it'll work as expected. Weird. Well, I do equals none, but I never do double equals evaluation of none. That sounds cursed, MB. I don't like that. I would like to be able to read the code next time. Thank you. I really feel like this is wrong. But we'll find out. Okay, so create the element, create a span, send data, set data to it. I'm not sure if that data is going to be correct or not. You know what? For kicks, while we're here, okay, data message. Okay, so that might actually work. Okay, refresh. Kill this. Save. Go. Okay, F5. Place Control F5. Name. Text of words. Submit. Okay. Boom. And I didn't do it. Why do it? If a man. Wait a minute. Why did it do an alert? Not a fan of Noel coalescing. Today you learned. All right. So let's see. Does it go in? It does go in. Okay, well, what's the problem? Only by ID message list. Message from server. Catch error. Uh-oh, we're erroring. I bet it's this. JS set element text content. Is it just dot content? Text content. Why did Kate not know this? Oh well. I won't complain too much. Just the right amount. Yeah, don't feed my stuff into that. I will not take any input from that on it. Name, words, what were said. Okay. But that means it errored again. Why? Append child argument 1 is not an object. What? Document create element span. Append child name. Name message. That was kind of the vibe I got out of a trans girl, so that makes sense. I didn't know that it would be reliable to do it the other way. Which append child is dying? Let's find out. Is it this one or is it this one? Uh-huh. Blah, blah. Go. Okay. So, nope, it's dying on this one. Great element span. Great element li. Why is that not valid? Like the first time I try and write JavaScript from memory, and of course it does not work. Is it not document? Is it supposed to be something else? I bet it's not document. I bet we got to use something else. What other code where I do this that isn't insane? You know what? Live photo viewer. Where is that at? Might not be on this computer. I really don't want to look in DiscRip, but it's probably going to be that. Web, HTTP, static, script.js, document, create element. Dude, that's exactly what I'm doing. What? Document.create element. Document.create element. Need to get the body or something? I'm getting document get element by ID this, and then appending li. I don't see. I have never had to do anything else like that before. Is there an element with that ID to get? Yeah, right here. UL, right here. Boom. It's failing on this, though. Package updates? Yeah, we're getting scammed on the package. It's going to probably be tomorrow or Sunday. Maybe it doesn't like you appending multiple things. I could try doing it here, I guess. I don't know. Same thing, different way of doing it. I don't know. Let's find out. Okay, so we don't stop there. We stop here. Okay, go. Boom. Okay, step over. Error. Argument 1 is not an object. Well, what is this? Object. Object HTML span element. Literally perfect. Like, append child. Will be unboxed on stream. No. That I can guarantee. Yeah, sorry, I really, really can't, though. Why is append child, like, append child argument 1 not an object? How is this, like, li.append? I've never done, I always do append child. And that's always worked on every JavaScript I've ever done. 2 plates for the town car? No. Oh, Ben's got an idea, maybe. Inner text. So I was doing that before, not text content. You know, for kicks, let's do text content instead. Or inner text. I don't know. Whatever. Maybe that fixes it. Would love to know what's not dying. Blah, 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 blah. And then step over and error. This does not make sense. Why? Why is this happening? Create element option. Setting value. Inner text. Let's create this out of nowhere, and then we return it later as the function option. And then on this one, we get crazier because we're replacing off of the document get element ID. I don't want to replace, I just want to append. You know what, for kicks, let's comment all that out and see if we can just append the LI directly to the message list. Yes, that we can append. I don't think they're globals, but we can try Elm underscore just to make them 100% unique. I don't like Python. I mean JavaScript. Fine. Name, go here. Word, go here. Get rid of all the breakpoints. Boom. I don't like this, but whatever. All right, fine. It's a string. That's weird, but fine. Okay, so that worked. How have I never used a variable named name before? Oh, well. Yeah, JavaScript? Yeah, it doesn't need to be 500, that's for sure. Although it'll kind of suck having to code all this in WebAssembly. That's why I come here. All right. Problem solved. Yeah. Okay. Now, let's just try a thing. Duplicate. What happens when only one of these sends something? New data. Does it go out to all clients? No. It only goes out to the client that sent it. Old data. Okay. If you did const name, then it would have been fine. You're telling me const doesn't mean constant? It's not an immutable value? I don't like JavaScript. Why does that mean local? That's so bad. It's local to the function. Yeah. I mean, whatever. Whatever. Okay, how do we make a go cross session? Well, I mean, the easy way is database. That's ultimately what'll be done. But for giggles, how can I go across sessions? Let name. There we go. That is actually the syntax I'm familiar with, but always forget to use. I forget I need to pretend JavaScript is like C sometimes, where I should declare all of my variables in the local scope at the top of the function. Cookies. That would be for keeping the data on this client. What I want is, yeah, what Ben's saying. I want to have two tabs open and have one tab send a message to the other tab. And then for each of them, send incoming messages. Yeah. So, hmm. So, Ben, would it just be easier to populate a database with currently connected clients and then, or not even do that? Actually, it says window messaging functions for one window has to be a child. Yeah, no. See, what I'm really getting towards is how do I make sessions communicate with each other, but maybe I just don't need to worry about that. Maybe that doesn't matter if I'm using SQLite on the server. And this is potentially a question I should just not be asking. You're looking in court, so I don't know if it's not. Yeah, I'm thinking I should not do this. I think that this is make the website. Excuse me. Listen to a port. It will listen to data coming back. Oh, by the way, it just disconnected. Oh wait, that was probably the second tab. So perhaps what I do instead, on the Python side, we would get the data. So let's say we just break out this into a function. Async def db message. Okay. And then data. Okay, so we'll get this. Boom. And then that's basically it. Okay. So from here, we can do this. And then I think the data will be stored in the SQL server and be reloaded later. So let's kill this and retry it. Okay. Oh, you want the clients to connect directly. No, I didn't want like a peer-to-peer. I was looking for a server hop kind of solution. Okay. Concept of rooms. Yeah, I think I'm answering a question I don't actually want an answer to. Test. New data. Okay. Submit. Okay. And now what I do, refresh. Okay, did not. Runtime, track malloc, blah, blah, blah. DB message was never awaited. Fair enough. Yeah, I might kill the whole thing. All right. You're confused. So am I. Don't worry. Was goal for the cross session? Yeah, see, that's the thing, is I don't actually want it. Chatter. Chatted. Submit. Nap time? Why nap time? Uh-oh, that looks cranky. Key error sender. Is it? Not this. This. Sender. I know why it's here. Hold on. Data. Data. There we go. Let me explain the use case that I'm thinking of so that you'll understand why I was thinking cross-session stuff, but really it should just be database. I will have the video route software, okay, open on my phone, and then I will have it open on the streaming computer. I want both of those to be able to access a stored image that's cached on the computer that's running the video route software that's written in Python, whatever nonsense, okay? I want either one of those clients to be able to push a button in the user interface that tells OBS, dump a new screenshot. And then the server will send a WebSocket back to the client, say, reload this image. But I want to make sure that all connected clients get the notification to reload the image. So what I think I need to do is maybe keep a database of times that the image button was clicked. This is kind of where I'm thinking like this is a pain, because right, libraries that get up with this. I don't want a library. The whole point was to learn how to actually do this. So I'm trying to figure out how I could have the one client start an action that then needs to have all the other clients update because of. And maybe just having all of the clients scan a database or something is going to be the answer. I don't know. I don't really like making a new SQL entry for every single time the image is updated. Maybe there could be an SQL entry for the timestamp that the image was taken, and then it could just be updated, and then they could select that and then just check that against their locally stored timestamp, and then if it's different, repull the image. Maybe that's what I can do. And then there'll just be one data entry per image in the user interface. Twist all to get wires together on the button, presto, yeah. Okay, I think we just restarted that. F5. Hello, server connection. Okay. Sender. Sended. Submit. Okay, reloading DB. I don't like that. Why didn't I get data back? Nap time. Okay, cool. Database is locked. All right. Over-engineered on button press, send packet to all clients. Okay. How? That's why I was saying, how could I send data from one window of this to another window of this? Because it would effectively work that way. But I don't know how. Maintain a list of clients in a dictionary. How is that different from a database? In Python, maintain a list of clients in a dictionary. Okay, but in a WebSocket, How do I arbitrarily open the connection to that particular client? When packet is received, iterate list, send packet. How are you planning on putting the WebSocket objects in a database? I'm not. Okay. Let me explain my current understanding of how this works, okay? So, it seems like every time I open a new window here, that it creates a new task, a new async IO task that just sits right here until the connection dies and it cancels it, okay? So this task is running in the background. There's one async IO task per client. Okay. So while this client is loaded, in this loop will be a call out to a database query, all right, where it will say, hey, has this timestamp updated? And if that timestamp has updated, it will do a WebSocket send. That's what I'm thinking. Now, I don't know if Quark, Flask, whatever, has a way of doing a generic RAM only kind of thing for that, where I could say instead, like, action has happened, and then I could say do this or not. I don't know. Okay, the WebSocket object is the connection to the client. Okay, but you understand what I'm saying, that we're just going to have like two async tasks. There's going to be a coroutine task that's sitting here detached. I can't get into this externally. Could just use the IP, send a message via WebSocket to the connected IPs. So I add the IP for the client to a database, then create a new WebSocket object. Okay, I don't think we're on the same page. I don't think we're on the same page. Let me take a step back here and re-explain my interpretation of this and how this would work. Okay? So, we have the WebSocket endpoint. When this client connects, okay, over here, we create our WebSocket object in JavaScript. This stays active, all right, because it's in the global scope here. As long as this is active, which I may end up pinging this from the server, but let's just ignore that for right now. Let's assume this stays active indefinitely, okay? As long as this stays active, over here, this while true loop is going to continue running, and we're going to continue having this WebSocket that we've imported from Quark right here. This will sometimes have data, sometimes it won't. It's none if it doesn't have data, and it's not none if it has data. So we're constantly calling this, okay? I can send data to the WebSocket here, but there is no configuration anywhere in here that I have performed about the client. The Quart task that is calling this async function is instantiating this object with information pertinent to the client. So this will run indefinitely while that client is connected, and I can send and receive in this. So if I check for a database, I could send a message out with this, but I don't know how I could break into this in Python only. Okay. All right. On each client, server assigns an ID to it, sends data with loop every client ID. Hold on. So that task is not the website. Yes, I know. Async IO queue per client. The object called WebSocket you're poking at within that task is a WebSocket connection to the client. So save that somewhere, and you should be able to send to it. Okay. All right. So you're saying maybe I have a global of connections, and then I could, while true, no, before that, connections dot append WebSocket, and then if one of these, if data, oh my gosh, it's gonna drive me friggin' crazy with the tab spacing. Data, event equal update all. Then we for connection in connections send blah whatever. So you're saying this. WebSocket library using not event driven. It's odd to me. We have a while loop. Yeah, I don't like the while loop either. Python not have a way to run indefinitely while async await is being utilized. I don't know. This is what they're constantly showing in the tutorial. Maybe in a later tutorial they're like, okay, but that's the stupid idiot moron way of doing it. Perhaps we should not do it that way. Well, that's how you get the data out of the form. Don't worry about this is because this is WebSocket. This is not a request, so we're not doing that. I have a request down here. That's a separate special nightmare. But assume we just send the data over WebSocket for now. It won't be. It will be a request like that, but just for right now, this. They're saying something along those lines would work. Okay, let's DB thing keeps getting all cranky. I don't know why. It's making me really nervous about trying to rely on this. I don't understand what's going on with that. Down there looks like it should work. Any update all should get you sent to the client. Definitely not as good Python socket stuff or something language. I may be complaining about nothing. Yeah, see, you're still better than I'm gonna be though. Okay, so update all. So let's just try this event update. Wait, event update all. Let's try this. And then event update all. Okay, so we'll do that, and then here, if we get event update all, we just send it the data. We're not going to try and cache it in the database. Okay, I think this will work. Connections invalid syntax. Well, that's sad. I have actually no idea why that would be invalid syntax. Oh, because you do that and then you define it or instantiate it. There. Update. Yeah, that's fair. Nope. Python's the cursed one. It's elif. Okay. Okay. Correct. Test. Submit. Okay. Cranky. WebSocket send was never awaited. Fair. Kill. Reload. F5. Name. Data. Submit. Okay. Name data. Okay. Now, let's make this more interesting. Name 2, data 2. Well, that didn't work. Name 3, data 3. Yeah, I think I'm going to do it the SQL way. I think that's how I'm going to do it. It's going to be SQL interface of like WebSocket checks or updates or something. And then there'll be a timestamp. Each client will hold their timestamp value for when they first connected, and then it'll have a polling. The polling will occur here, and then when a change happens in the database, it will reach out to the client, and that will happen in each client's individual async loop. I don't know how introducing SQL will make this easier. The SQL database will have, sounds nasty, but okay. I mean, it'll have a single entry in the SQL database. All right. When one client writes to it, it runs an update on that, updates the timestamp. All other connected clients, their async function that's stuck in this purgatory loop will check, they'll select for that entry in the database. And if the timestamp is different from when they connected, which will happen all in here, then it will resend the data for that entry. So I think that will work, and that's probably going to be the best way to do it. So there'll just be a table or something of WebSocket updates that are handled like that. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know why. Let's just try this. Name 4, data 4. Let's see, do we get 3 of them? No, we only get 2. I don't know why it's getting 2. Did it... If I do this, are we going to get... No, hold on. Duplicate. Are we going to get 3 then? Name 5, data 5. Yeah, that's pretty cursed. Yeah, I don't know why it's like that. I might... Is there a pointer kind of thing? Python get object address. Yeah, I don't know. Unless I can get the actual object data location, I don't think it's gonna work. All right. Yeah, I'll do it the SQL way. I'll probably mess around with that more off stream. It is time for me to wrap up the stream though here, so yeah. I think we made some really big progress though. Oh my gosh. Okay, apparently stream will be at the office for the rest of the weekend. Tracking was updated to show Monday as the next scheduled delivery date. So cool. Glad they wasted my time with today. This is where framework versus language matters because this is Quartz specific thing. Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah, this is Quartz specific.
Months,
yep.
Currently on a 45-month streak, and says there's a snake in your code. End of line.
It needs to have a Woody voice there. Nagalak, thank you for the Prime sub and for 45 months. I appreciate that. All right. Well, you say, Ben, that it's rude, but you know what's better? It is better than having it updated to say tomorrow, and then tomorrow it updates to say Sunday, and then Sunday it updates to say Monday. I'll take it just being Monday And then watch, tomorrow I'll wake up and it'll say it's going to be delivered on Saturday, and then the tracking will be different. So I don't know. We'll see. So currently, streams will be at the office. Don't know if that'll actually happen. So we'll find out. But all right, I am gonna run the outro here now. Boop. All right. I suppose I can do this as well. Okay. So that was the stream. You'll get home from stream tomorrow to find out we missed you. Yeah, no kidding. That is exactly what will happen. All right. I'm really happy with the progress we made today. We actually did WebSockets. It did work. The only thing that was a problem was trying to figure out how to update clients when one of them initiates an action on the back end. And I really do think I'm going to have to maintain the database thing. So I'm going to mess around with that some more off stream. You can check out in the TT Live Discord server if you want to see how I get along with that. But for now, that is going to be it. So thank you all for hanging out here. If you enjoyed the stream, you may want to follow to be notified when I go live again next. Committee changes? Yeah, I can do that here. Git commit -am WebSockets are dumb. Git push. There you go. Alrighty. Like me repo, it's exclamation point GitHub here, and then it's whatever the one I'm updated most recently. Anyway, that's it for now. If you enjoyed this stream, you can follow to be notified when I go live again next, which will be 20 hours from now. If you want to help support the channel, you can find me on Patreon or get a shirt that's not one of these. Maybe it'll be a delay shirt in the future. I don't know. I didn't think people would like that. Follow, like, requests, and shares many of the same attributes. Yeah. See, that's the weird thing. That's why I was saying I import it up at the top. Anyway, that's it for now. I'll see you all later. Bye. Okay, now printer, and I've waited a little bit so that maybe the printer won't overwrite my thing. So now click it.